Popular forms of resistance include boycotts, sit-ins, and marches, but the body is a political platform which most people overlook. Your body can be utilized as an act of resistance towards the powers that be, or simply going against the status quo. Art, beauty, and performance are subjective outlets that can be used to have a voice without speaking. No matter how good it looks, unauthorized drawings on a public surface is seen as defiant in today's society. Graffiti can be linked to ancient African hieroglyphics as well as other cultures that use art to express their stories and values. Both hip-hop and gang graffiti were formed as acts of resistance to oppression in Black and Latino communities. Gang graffiti, contrary to popular beliefs, isn't just about claiming territory, but it also includes more elaborate connections within the community. In the early 15th century, hair indicated marital status, religion, wealth or rank, geographic origins, and age within West African communities. The importance of hair also indicated the importance of the hairdresser. She was considered the most trusted. Yoruba tradition was that all women were taught to braid, but the most talented would be encouraged to become a master. In Ghana, the sexes had to be separate, therefore women were not allowed to groom men's hair and vice versa. One of the things slave traders did to their new cargo was to shave off their heads, altering the relationship between the African and their culture. Once on plantations, slaves worked a minimum of 12 hours per day, 6 days a week. Having neither the time nor resources to groom their hair, African combs were replaced with sheep fleece, and field workers covered their heads as protection against the sun. Miscegenation brought another dynamic to black hair, and by the transatlantic slave trade, banned in 1808, a distinct black American culture developed. In the 1900s, blacks were collectively free but had to make whites more comfortable with their presence. Both men and women began wearing straight hairstyles, curled, organized, and with every strand in place, to get rid of their African features. Blacks with lighter skin and straighter hair began to put themselves into a white racial category and social identities in an act known as passing. This continued for the next 60 years until blacks began to resist this European aesthetic and celebrate their African ancestry beginning in 1964. Hair became the key determinant in visually declaring black pride with such as afros, cornrows, and dashiki wrapped locks. Today, black hair still represents both the resisting of European aesthetics and a continuum of wearing straightened, more organized styles. As it once did in Africa, hairdressing and the experience of being in the salon for hours remained ritualistic, and like the men and women of Ghana who did not groom the opposite sex hair, even though interchangeable, we still see it in today's society. Geographic location still remains relevant, and religious views are obvious when black Muslims wrap their hair. Black hair symbolizes those who have survived the journey from Africa to America and conform to the conditions of being in the New World. Tattoos and piercings have become a fad in today's society. Performers and athletes have tattoos ranging from full arm sleeves to full body coatings, and reality television shows like Ink Master have increased media attention. But where did these body markings and accessories come from? Many ancient cultures and civilizations utilized their body as a form of expression, aesthetic, sacrifice, initiation, ceremonial dress, or worship to their gods. It is African tribal custom to many indigenous groups to scar their bodies in elaborate designs known as scarification. Some denote membership, kinship, achievement, age group, or for attraction purposes. The men in the Masi tribe of Kenya paint their bodies with white chalk to depict their achievements in warriorhood during one of their ritual transformations. Western civilization for years has denoted body markings and piercings such as tattoos and gauges as barbaric and unprofessional. It wasn't until the turn of the century that they began to become more acceptable in society. What many see as just a fad has been practiced in ancient cultures until present day. As people continue to decorate their bodies, they forced the conservative Americans to integrate this practice of expression into today's society. Dances like the Harlem Shake and stepping are popular in mainstream America today, yet were once a major part of celebrations and resistance in Africa. First introduced in Harlem in 1981, the Harlem Shake comes from a traditional Ethiopian dance, the eskita, meaning dancing shoulders. A dance of what seems to be chaotic movements have cultural values, motives, and emotions all wrapped in one. Stepping is another form of dancing that is rooted in Africa. Gumbo dancing or stepping represents the struggle of miners. Talking was prohibited, and to keep communication or to warn one another against danger, the miners began to tap, stump, and clap as forms as communication and resistance. This form is continued mostly through fraternities and sororities and various step teams around the world. Dancing, hair, body art, and graffiti all are derived from African traditions and are now popular forms of expression which can be used to resist the status quo.